things. To be honest with you, miracles do happen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we have those who would call themselves cessationists. They believe that miracles have ceased, and there are those within the theological cycle who would say they are continuationist, and they believe that miracles do exist. They happen, and I'm in that category. I believe that miracles do happen. uh,
Yes.
the Lord is still at work. Mighty things are still happening, and I truly understand that the essence of miracle, the way the Lord does His things, is so that people will see His mighty works and
Mhm.
be in awe of Him and worship Him, because we are, by the way, created for worship, and
Yes.
that people will be drawn to Him. Those who do not believe in Him will see those mighty works and be drawn to Him. And so, I mean, just ordinarily sleeping in the night, forgetting about yourself, and then discovering that you are awake in the morning, it's a miracle. Yeah, that's a miracle.
Ooh,
I
yes,
mean,
sir.
imagine it. Somebody can just pick you in the night, and you don't even know where you are. But all of a sudden, boom, it's morning. You, you wake up healthy, strong, and you walk around, go do your job, and do all the stuff that He's giving you the energy to do. That's a miracle.
That's true.
So one of the biggest miracle that has happened to me is what I consider the miracle of regeneration.
Hmm.
And I see that as a miracle. I felt it in my life, and I've seen the uniqueness of it, because the person I used to be, I'm no longer that kind of a person. If not for the miracle that has taken place in me, who am I, to change the way I have changed? To be honest with you, my kind of life is not a reputable life. It's not a good one. But even my friends, to be honest with you, my own friends, my childhood friends, and they also are testifying. They sit back and talk about me. One of them one time just called me on phone. He said, "We are gathered together and we are just talking about you and talking about how God has changed you and how God has called you to be a pastor." So I consider that as one of the biggest miracles that I've seen the Lord
Yes.
do in my life. And
Wow.
secondly, I would say this clearly so that we would understand. There was one time I was involved in an accident, you know, together with my friends when we were children, in a place where my father was pastoring. It's a rural setting, like a village, and so there's this auto mechanic who lives around where we live. And so we were walking together with my friends, and we went around their auto shop, or their workshop, and we saw him repaired, like a let me like a pickup,
Uh-huh.
yeah, so like a pickup truck, right? And
Uh-huh.
so he fixed that truck. Is actually for someone, so he wanted to kind of have like a test run of that truck. And so when we saw him, we said, "Oh, we're gonna join him. We're gonna join." He said, "Join up, yeah, go ahead, join." And so we jumped to the back, all of us, and sat down. So he started speeding with
Oh.
that truck. He overspeeded to the extent that he could not control, the truck, and it somersaulted. Now, to be honest with you, when he was overspeeding, something came to my mind. And what I did, my friends were busy shouting. They were shouting because they were enjoying the way the breeze was blowing
Uh-huh.
so hard on them, and they were just kind of celebrating and enjoying. But I sat down I began to process things within my head. It's as if the Lord was actually the one that actually put me to sit down, and so that consciousness of accident came to my mind. I didn't know what to do. And so when we somersaulted, now I just saw myself walking by the side of the road. I didn't know what was happening, just walking by the side of the road. And I heard some people saying, please hold him there. We don't know what's wrong with him. That was just what I heard. And then the rest of my friends, 3 of them, all had serious injuries in their body. They sustained really serious injuries, but I didn't have one single thing to the glory of God. Now, I'm not saying I'm better than them, but truly that was a miracle.
Yes.
There was no how I could save myself in that place.
Yes.
There was no how I could find, use my ability to find myself beside the road, walking with my legs without sustaining any injury. So it was God's doing, and truly it was a miracle. And I believe that God preserved my life for such a time as this.
Woo. Yes, sir. Now there you go.
Yeah.
Woo. Now check this out, Pastor Amos. Back in 1990 something, I had a pastor friend, still a friend, from Uganda.
Okay.
Love this man, still love him to pieces. Yeah. And I've been changed. Okay. So anyway, he said, he was explaining to me that in his country, the significance of having a king, and that we over here are real diplomatic. And he began to explain to me how if the king came into his village and you prepare, now I can see things, probably what he was trying to share. But I thought, this man is retarded. Talking about a king coming over here and you getting all ready for one man. And he said, so you get ready. And if the king were to ask anything of you, you would be so grateful to give it, even if it was your wife. Yeah. You would be willing. And I said, well, I'm glad you in America, we don't do stuff like that. But since then, I began to process. I didn't even let him finish because I'm thinking, you at a Baptist church, we vote on everything. Mm-hmm. You're in America, we don't do that. So, but as I began to want to know, I thought, my God, how would you explain a kingdom mentality spiritually versus diplomatic mentality, if that's not too confusing? Because I thought this man was out of his tree, because that's just not how things happen.
Yeah.
So, yes, sir.
That's a good illustration that he gave you there.
The Bible say, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And I just ask him to create in me a clean heart, oh God, and renew a right spirit within me. Now, I'm not no preacher or anything, but it's all about purifying your body, keeping your heart clean, keeping your heart pure. Thank you, God, for keeping a clean heart in me. I ask for your blessing. Amen.
So hold on, my brother. He gon' be with you, won't deceive you, never leave you. Sister. He gon' be with you, won't deceive you, never leave you. But he's with you from the start. That's the only way to keep a healthy heart. Make my heart pure. He gon' be with you, won't deceive you, never leave you. He gon' be with you, won't deceive you, never leave you. But he's with you from the start. That's the only way to keep a healthy heart. Make my heart pure.
Said I know God, he always able. King of kings, all-time creator. He can get you through whatever. He the only one can save you. Never leave you, never stray.